We're pleased to present from Mid-Continent Instruments and Avionics, Todd. Wave at the camera. There we go. There we go. And Ben. You guys are related, right?
We are.
Yep.
We're the Winters.
Last I checked, yeah.
There we
The
go.
Winter boys. There's 3 Winter men who work in the company. So
There you go.
yeah.
Let's get down to brass tacks. You guys had some announcements. Tell us what's new with True Blue Power.
Okay. Well, what's new? I'm going to give that to Van.
Yeah,
Take
so
it away.
We had, I got to watch the video from the closest seat in the house during MPI yesterday. So we got 2 new products that we're focusing on.
All right.
We have a power converter. So it's our first entry into the high voltage realm. So that converts 270 volts all the way down to 28 volts to power avionics and any other systems that you might need. And that's a 6,500 watt converter.
Okay.
So it's a TC6500. Lots of power.
Carries a little weight. Yeah.
Lots of power, small box.
No, it's lightweight.
Little weight, yeah.
A lot of power.
A lot of power in a small box. So that was our TC6500. We are excited. That's kind of taking us into that higher power realm. See a lot of need for that with business jets. See a lot of need for that with defense and special missions. So we're excited to get that one on the market, expecting that one in the second quarter. And then another one that was really an answer to a customer question, sometimes a customer demand, is I kind of call it the Goldilocks of our USB charging port family. We have 15 watt chargers all the way up to 100 watt chargers.
Okay.
And yesterday we debuted the TA245, which not shockingly outputs 45 watts.
Okay.
So right kind of in the middle, just in that sweet spot. What's great about that charger is it allows us to bring more power into lower voltage aircraft. So we had high power chargers for a while, but they required an input voltage of 20 or above. So all my friends and customers at the Oshkosh's and Sun and Fun shows of the world said, man, we want a little bit more power on our lower voltage aircraft. So what's great about the TA245 is now the input voltage is back down to 12, so it can basically be installed in any aircraft. All products TSO'd, ready to go.
And ready to handle all kinds of interfaces?
Yes, of
There
course.
we go.
Yep. They do an intelligent handshake with any device that you can think of. We actually used a new charging protocol in this port that we don't have in our others. It's called PPS.
All right.
It's programmable power supply. So the analogy that we used in the video at MPI was, imagine if you were turning a stereo knob, and rather than having to stop at 5 volts, 9 volts, 12, 15, it's this nice smooth turn, and you can get into the very specific voltage. So if you have a device that wants exactly 13.8 volts, we can meet you right at that voltage. Makes the charging more efficient, keeps the unit cool, and it's less wear and tear on the devices as well. So,
Outstanding.
yeah, it's
I know,
really
I know
cool
a lot
tech.
of places that'll go.
Yeah,
Quite a few.
that's what we're hoping.
I imagine you were talking about customer input. I imagine you get some pretty interesting requests
All
when
the
it comes
time.
to folks trying to make their panels do the job.
Yep, definitely.
We do. We also get a lot of stories about people who are unhappy with their charging. They don't know if it's charging. They think it's charging, but it's not keeping up, so they can't use their tablet or their device. And so we've integrated features that will give them maximum charging so they can utilize their device. Something that's dependable. By the way, all of our USBs from True Blue Power have a lifetime warranty. That's how confident we are in the quality.
Until you sell something like that to me, I can break anything.
Well,
We'll give you a new one.
just call me up. We'll send you a new one if you do it. They're pretty tough. And by the way, too,
Yeah, but
we've
you've known
got.
me for a bunch of years. Tell me I can't break it.
Say,
Ask my wife. I can break anything.
okay. But we've got Type C and Type A ports in that too. So, and you do get some feedback. So it's great. Basically, from an overall, USB is a touch point for the pilot and the passengers. We've got you covered. We actually have product on the space station, now down to a 172, military, commercial, airlines. If you need USB power charging solutions, including wireless chargers, True Blue Power has you covered, and they are some of the best, if not the best, USB type charging devices out there. So,
If you say so yourself.
I do say so. I confidently say so.
Well, it's one thing I do enjoy when you're confident in a product and when the product from the folks that we hear from the field stands up. There you go.
That's why I did the lifetime warranty. I said, how can we help people understand what they're getting? We are not necessarily the cheapest, but most people tell us
Yeah, but
that
the
we are the
cheapest winds
best.
up costing you in the long run. I
It
learned
can.
that lesson a long
It-
time
it
ago in
can.
aviation.
It can.
Yep.
You go for the bottom, the bottom of the ladder, and you're going to be back to that ladder in no time flat. Don't ask me how many times I learned that. Oh my goodness. So what's on the horizon for both Mid-Continent and True Blue Power? What can we expect to see from you folks in the future?
Well, it's interesting. I love to talk about batteries,
Yep.
and that's a big part of True Blue Power. Most new aircraft coming to market, rotorcraft, helicopters, etc., will have a True Blue Power battery, main ship, emergency lighting. We are supplying advanced air mobility companies with small batteries. They do their own large packs. Of course, there's a lot of activity in that market too. So that's probably what you will see the most, because we are hitting all those markets. People are really happy with it. Van and his crew are also working on more and more STC opportunities, so that people who use their aircraft a lot can do an upgrade. And again, the customers that do it, whether it's in a Caravan or a King Air or a R44, R66, they are very happy.
Future
We get
R88.
great- We expect to be on the R88. I'm so impressed with that aircraft.
Yep.
And you will see that they have integrated for the Mid-Continent instrument products. You will prominently see some of our 2 1/4 inch indicators, solid state indicators.
The flex gauges.
Based on the flex gauge, which
Yep.
you may recall.
remember
But
it
they're
well.
beautiful, and the job that they did integrating them in, wow, it's pretty. It looks
great.
nice.
It's going to be an interesting product, and it certainly is a departure from what Frank originally envisioned Robinson to be. But then again, this is 2025, and it's a whole different ballgame. Right now, how do you look at the avionics community, the environment we're working in? Are we healthy? Are we doing well? How do you feel about your place in the industry? What's happening out there?
Well, that is a good question. I am on the board of the Aircraft Electronics Association, so I get a lot of nice additional overarching information. The industry, I was so excited, I was sharing this with Van the other day, some of the things that I've literally just heard about that are on the pathway in the near future that will create safer skies, more utility out there, that will, a lot of it will be avionics related, right? New technologies can enhance safety of flight, utility, efficiency. So I'm very excited about that and the things that I see happening. We are looking for people. If you're interested in a great career, you may be thinking about other things like automotive or air conditioning or computers, but avionics is a great career field, and you can work in so many different places. Think of all the places that you know that have really interesting avionics things. And I even asked this guy the other day, I said, aren't you glad you're in aviation? It's exciting and fun. And he did say yes.
It is exciting.
And it is. It really is. It's wonderful. So overall, very good. And we need people. So we want you to be interested. We've got a lot of resources out there so you can learn about avionics and learn about being part of this very exciting industry.
Well, there you go. You want a job?
Yes,
to these guys.
yes, and we are hiring.
We're hiring.
Absolutely,
There you
especially
go.
engineers. If you like to work on power products and high-end battery systems, we are literally hiring at Mid-Continent Instruments and Avionics, True Blue Power. But it's common. All of our good friends here in the AEA, there are lots of great opportunities.
Outstanding. Well, I know it's got to be a decent company to work for, because the same people I've worked with year after year after year are there. There's so much job shuffling in this industry. But what I don't see with you guys is, I've been talking to the same people for decade plus. That tells me something. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Thank you.
So what's your recommendation for new people coming into aviation?
Well, I mean, I think that it is a really exciting career. I think that we're growing. We see industry partners growing. We see new companies coming into the market. looking for solutions. So I do think it's definitely on an uptick of the new things that are happening. I think as we continue to work through existing regulations, new regulations, there will be a lot of things coming down the pipe, but I definitely think it's on the uptick.
And if you like to travel, just ask these guys. Do you travel much?
Quite often.
Okay. You get to go to some great places
On
too,
airplanes,
'cause
yeah.
we're all over. We are all over.
Outstanding. One of the themes I'm working this week is talk to people within the industry and looking at Washington. Obviously, things have been shook up. They're looking to make changes fundamentally in how we do things, period, including FAA and transportation and all. And some interesting people are coming into the realm there, and a few folks are already taking some real interesting shots at it. Elon among them. And the last time I talked to him, he was excited about the opportunities, but dedicated to making things different. But like anything, they're looking for input. So this is your chance. Tell Washington how we can help aviation grow.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to put you on the spot or anything.
Well, as I said,
This is the private line to Donald, by the way.
technology and safety. This is, like you said, it's a bit of an unprecedented time, and changes and even sometimes a little bit of chaos can create opportunity. And there are people who are ready to seize the opportunity again and help people travel safely. So there are definitely some things that people probably said, well, we can think about this but never get it done. Well, this is a time when they're saying, you know what? This year, maybe we can start this and maybe we really can do something significant that will make a big difference in a good way, good for everybody, and not just for the United States. You know, we are global, we are worldwide, and most of the people here are the same.
The U.S. leads the world in aviation.
Yep.
So
we try.
If there's any place where we can really make a change in the world, it's the aviation community.
Yes.
And without being too specific, financial and regulatory challenges that we face unfortunately impact our customers, right? So if there are things that we see that present financial challenges, if there are regulations that are challenging for us, that means that they end up becoming challenging for our customers because that impacts what we can get to the market, what kind of technology, and at what price. Yeah. So, you know, we try and work with regulatory bodies on those things. And we have good organizations like the AEA, like the General Aviation Manufacturers Association, that we partner with to help advocate on our behalf, which is really advocating on our customers' behalf, which is the traveling public. So it's definitely a domino effect.
Well, Todd, if I can bother you for 1 second, but something specific to AEA. They just announced an education program, a training program.
Yes, and a certification.
Bingo. But I know this is something that's been discussed for a long time.
Yes.
Could have a huge effect on populating an industry that's always looking for good people who have been trained right.
Right.
Your thoughts on that program?
I'm very impressed. There's been a lot of thought that goes into it. As you know, Mike Adamson, our president, has a long experience with education and scholarship programs. So I think things have finally come full circle we've learned a lot from other organizations, some of whom have been directly affecting avionics and or aviation maintenance, and we've got some great people who have dedicated a lot of time to where we put together a very thoughtful program for certification that will motivate people to get into the industry, give comfort level to those who are having their aircraft serviced, right, knowing, hey, this guy is a pro level person servicing my aircraft. So they've been through all of this training and all these gates. So we feel really good about it. It's just rolling out. I think it will be very positive. I've, like you said, I've seen other programs going way back, and there were always a few things that seemed to not be as much a benefit. This one, again, because it's kind of grassroots within our avionics industry, but related to other disciplines, I think it has the potential to really be a great thing for a long period of time.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, where can we get more information on both Mid-Continent and True Blue Power?
New website. I mean, website's always getting improved, but continues to be consolidated. mcico.com, and call us on the phone. We got a eager sales team. Love talking to customers. Love communicating and helping
And ask
people
for
out.
Todd or Van?
You can ask.
Absolutely.
You'll get Todd or Van if you call us and ask for us, and we're not traveling. You will get one of us.
Or even if we're traveling. And we actually have people you can talk to on the phone. And for the AEA and careers and things like that, it's aea.net.
Yep.
And there's some really interesting things on there that can give somebody a start. And wherever you live, there's probably an AEA shop near you at the airport. Reach out to them and say, I would just like to come in and see your place and talk to you. Literally go there in person. They will welcome you in the door.
Folks, it's a great industry. If you're looking for a new career, highly recommended, and especially
Absolutely.
under the auspices of AEA, one of the best associations we've ever worked with. And keep in mind, I've been playing this industry for 54 years.
Yeah.
That's scary. Alrighty, folks. Tell you what, we are on deck here in a moment. I can't thank you enough for spending a little bit of time with us. Great job with everything so far this week, and we look forward to catching up with you down the line. Certainly at Oshkosh and MBAA and the like. And more important than anything else, keep doing what you're doing. It's been fun stuff to watch, and we like to see innovation. Go
Thank
for
you
it.
for having us.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And remember, we fly with you. We're right there.
There you go.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 68th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from Phoenix, Arizona, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors: